So this is kind of gonna be a hot topic video. You know how like if you're a girl and you're talking to a guy or like you have a little crush on a guy, I guess if you're not a girl watching this you probably don't know, but I'm telling you now, right? So you'll be telling your friends about someone you're talking to, right? And obviously your friends will be like, oh, show us a picture of this person, right? Show us a picture of this hot man that you're talking to. And the girl will either be like, oh no, he doesn't look good in pictures, but he looks better in person. Or she'll show you the picture on her phone and then also be like, but he doesn't look good in pictures, okay? I swear he looks better in real life. You've either done this yourself or you've seen this happen with your friends, right? You know, this is a phenomenon that I see all the time. So what I don't understand about this phenomenon, right, is like if you are interested in this person, right, that you're talking to, that you're romantically, you clearly like this person, why would you think that this person is physically unattractive? So here what I mean is, right, like it's not about whether or not the person that you're talking to is objectively attractive or like objectively physically good looking, but like if you like them, right, you should, in my opinion, you shouldn't have the awareness of how other people would see this person as like unattractive. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because if you're interested in someone, right, this is my logic, I feel like if you actually like someone, you should at least subjectively be physically attracted to this person and therefore be able to show other people, like your peers, a picture of this person without having to do a bunch of disclaimers. I hope this is making sense to you. This is like bizarre to me, okay? Will I get cancelled for this? But this is like a crazy phenomenon to me because I've personally been attracted to people that, looking back, right, have not been conventionally good looking in the sense that like other people may not find them physically attractive. But at the time, right, I was not ashamed to have to show their picture to my friends because this is my opinion, right? But like if you truly, like if you actually like someone and you were attracted to them, right, surely you at the time would think that they were physically attractive, right? Like, or like you at the time would be physically attracted to this person. It's about how you see this person, right? I don't understand the logic here, which is kind of like, I like you despite the fact that I personally also think that you look like a bridge troll, right? It should be that I like you and therefore I am attracted to you and I don't think that you look like a bridge troll, or I think that your troll-like features are very charming and very sweet and I like looking at you, right? Because you're someone I like and love. And therefore I should be seeing you with the rose-tinted glasses of I am physically attracted to you. I am not embarrassed to show your picture to my friends. It's not about like the core objective truth of, is this guy hot, right? Because it doesn't matter, okay? It's like irrelevant in my opinion to argue the issue of like whether or not this person is objectively hot, right? Because reality is subjective, right? Truth is relative, okay? At least in the context of like whether or not you are physically attracted to someone, it should be truth is relative. Why are you aware of whether or not this person is objectively attracted to other people? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you have to preface something about a person that you're attracted to or that you like, you should be proud to show this person off. I feel like you have to put a preface in. It just means that, like, on some level, you are embarrassed by this person, right? And, like, how are you meant to have a long-lasting relationship or situationship or, I don't know, successful talking phase, okay, with this person, if you at least on some level are unconsciously embarrassed to be associated with this person? You know what I mean? This is like shocking to me. I really hope people don't misconstrue my words, but like you cannot have or like want and crave a fairy tale romance and then also be simultaneously so self-conscious about what the village square is saying about you, right? Like, we are the village square, okay? Like, yeah, the village square is gonna exist, but like the romance you crave or like the narrative you read about and you love and you want, like, oh, I just want someone to love me, right? The love story is that like you love this person despite the reaction of the villagers, okay? It's like how every mother thinks that their child is the most beautiful baby in the world, right? This example might not really work for you. It's like how you think that your dog or like your cat, even though it's got like those weird smush faces, is like the cutest dog or cat in the world, right? Not because that cat or dog is objectively the cutest cat or dog in the world, but it's because it's your cat and dog and therefore you love it and therefore you think that it's really cute. And so in your subjective world, which if we are being so honest here is the only thing that matters, right? If you're talking about personal relationships and connections, it's not a medical science, right? The only thing that matters in your subjective world is that you were attracted to them. Everyone online is teaching you how to looks max and how to career max. How about you happiness max, okay, mother? Because that's the end goal here, right? When you're looks maxing and career maxing, okay, you're happiness maxing. You're trying to happiness max, okay? And that starts by you saying with your chest, right? Hey guys, I'm talking to this guy and I think he's really cute and I don't care if the village square thinks he looks like a toilet brush, you know, because I don't think he looks like a toilet brush because he's someone that I have a crush on and I enjoy talking to him and therefore I hope that helps. And also, like, if we're like thinking about this all the way through, like, if you're preempting every time you show off a picture of someone that you're romantically interested in, and we're like, oh, he's not that attractive, but he looks better, and we're like, you are setting this person up for failure, you know what I mean? Like, it sets the expectation up in, like, other people's head, because now they're gonna be, like, going in, right? They haven't even seen a picture of this yet, okay? But like now they're like, oh yeah, this guy's not cute, you know? Like I have the preconception now that he's not attractive. And therefore, when you show them the picture, they're not gonna think he's attractive. Why? Because they expected it, okay? You set the bias up. You're setting the tone. You're planting the seed. So like when they do meet him, they're already looking for what's wrong. So like even if this person is like totally normal looking, right? Like totally average looking, they'll find something to like validate the bias. They're like, oh yeah, you're right. He does kind of look like a bridge troll just a little bit because you framed it as a downgrade. And that's basically self-sabotage, right? And it's unfair, obviously, to this person, but also to yourself, right? Like, it's unfair and it's self-sabotage to your own taste, because if you say, like, oh, he's not photogenic, but he looks better in person, I swear, your friends are gonna be like, oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Now you feel kind of weird because they validated the fact that you think this person's not cute, even though you're attracted to this person, even though you preempted it, so you feel weird. This guy's subtly disrespected and he doesn't know about it, and everyone's operating under this fake hierarchy where you're dating down, right? Which maybe you're dating down in hindsight, maybe the objective fact is that you're dating down, but like, that is a hindsight that you're only meant to have after a breakup, okay? That's how it works. These are the thoughts that people have after a breakup, which is like, oh man, girl, you're like, you were like so much better than him. That guy's not even cute, right? Yeah, obviously we're all saying these things, but like, you only say that after the breakup, okay? You shouldn't be saying that in a relationship, okay? Because if you think this, right? If you think this, even on like a subconscious level, while you're still seeing this person, then like, in my opinion, it's over. Like, it's over. Like, it's over before it started, because you're not gonna give it a proper chance. Because if you feel like you need to do optics management, right, then fundamentally you are ashamed of this person, right, at some level. And like, disclaimer, again, just to make sure people know what I'm trying to say, I am not saying in this video, I am not saying, right, you should only date hot men, you should only date hot guys, because then this resolves the issue, okay? That's not what I'm saying at all, okay? What I'm saying is, if you like someone, then you should say it with your chest, okay? And you should be proud of them, and you should be physically attracted to this person, right? Don't pre-disclaim someone when you're showing them to your peers like they're a bad purchase, okay? And again, I'm very scared. I'm scared of the comments. I do not want this video to come off as me being like, oh, she's being special, or she's like pandering to men, okay? That's not what I mean, right? I'm just saying, like, if you like someone, then you should do it earnestly, right? You should say it with your chest, and you should be proud of them, because it's not only shameful to them for you to be half proud of them, but it's also a disservice to yourself, right? Because you're telling people that you don't think you have good taste. Because I don't know about you, right? But I think that I have great taste, and people make fun of the guys that I have a crush on in school all the time, and I didn't give because I liked them and I thought they were cute, right? It doesn't matter what other people think. Have faith in your own bad taste. Okay, people thought I was really cringe too, and I am. So why do people do this, right? Like, I do understand. We're thinking about the phenomenon here, right? Like, we're scientifically thinking about the phenomenon. So, like, on some level, I'm definitely not perfect, right? I've definitely done this at some point in my life, even though I actively try not to. And it's because I think, right? Because, like, especially if you're a girl, right? You naturally anticipate judgment from other people, right? And that's not your fault at all. That's not your fault at all. And so you try and get ahead of the reaction from other people by saying, oh, he's not that cute in photos, because preempting it means that other people can't say it before you, right? And so you do this as like a way to control the narrative, right? If you're like, oh, I know he's not hot, but he's a really nice guy, or like, I know he's kind of ugly, I know he's kind of mid-ugly, I know he kind of looks like a bridge troll, but I like mid-ugly guys because they're funny, etc., right? And I also feel like, again, I'm not trying to disparage you, because these are things that I've definitely done in my past on a conscious level probably, but I think a lot of the time you feel that who you date is a reflection of you, right? And like, if someone isn't objectively attractive, I feel like a lot of people, like, subconsciously, you feel the need to justify the relationship to other people to maintain your own perceived value, right? Also, on another note, but completely related, I feel like nowadays, in general, it's just really hard to be sincere, right? This is definitely a issue that I have, okay? Listen to me, okay? Every other thing I say is deadbeat, it's ironic, right? It's truly, my brain is like fried. It's actually quite catastrophic, okay, if I think about it. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the time you downplay how into someone you are, right? Because you don't want to seem vulnerable or like naive, or like, it's just very difficult nowadays. It's like internet problem, okay? If you're like on the internet too much, it's so hard to be like earnestly, sincerely be like, I really like this thing, I really like this person, right? Because it's cringe to gush, right? It's way easier to act detached, and so therefore you downplay any interest towards a person that's sincere and earnest. And that leads to you saying, like, I really like this guy, but since I can't sincerely, I've never learned how to sincerely be into something, because everything that's sincere is cringe, right? Therefore, I really like this guy, but I know he's not that cute, guys, okay? I know he's kind of mid-ugly, ha ha ha, okay? That's what's happening here. So what I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't do this. You should not do this, okay? Because if you like someone, right, you should find them beautiful. Like, you should be attracted to them, okay? And not just in private, and it shouldn't be with a disclaimer to your peers, because that's And since we're nearing the end of the video, I'm gonna pull out some reference points for you, right? For your consideration, right? So it looks like I did my research, okay? David Foster Wallace talks a lot about the shame of wanting connection and how irony becomes like armor to hide sincere desire, right? Because if you go through life approaching everything, right? Including your love life, your relationships, being like, oh, it's not that deep, or like having like an ironic undertone about everything that you do, then that protects you from embarrassment, right? Because if everything is ironic, then nothing can hurt you. And I think in like a lot of aspects of life, you can kind of get away with that, except in my opinion when you're in love, okay? Or like if you like someone, okay? Because this is paradoxically the only time when you should not ever be ironic, because to be ironic when you're in love fundamentally goes against what you want out of a relationship, right? With another person, which is to have the sappy, gooey, saccharine, beautiful love story, okay? And a sincere, genuine human connection with someone. Anyway, I have nothing else to say about that topic. If you like this video, then watch the other ones on this channel, obviously. Check the shop, newsletter, Instagram. Bye.